don't know much about Death Stranding yet, still there are some details floating around about Hideo Kojima's first post-Konami game to keep us captivated. What has us going on are the mere 3 trailers that have been released, and the mystery is still a mystery. From the rumors that began flowing in after its thrilling announcement at E3 2016 to a possible release date, we'll discuss it all in this video. I'm Mahanawaz for Segment Next, and here's everything we know about Death Stranding so far. Quite contrary to what the trailer showed us, Death Stranding isn't really a horror game, and Kojima-san himself confirmed that. As per the celebrated game designer, he's rather easily scared, and that's why he tries to avoid any fear-inducing imaginations that can cause him disturbed sleep at night. Plus, he also elaborated that Death Stranding will be no stranger to comedy. That's easy to imagine since Metal Gear Solid had its fair share of comic moments too. But Kojima-san did mention that the humor in Death Stranding will be at an appropriate level so as to not affect the world setting. Death Stranding is all about connections. In an interview with Wired, Kojima-san explained that the story is about what you call strands in psychology, how people are connected. Death Stranding involves connecting players to one another via gameplay and explores Kojima-san's ideas. But it's got another meaning too. When a whale wades into shallow water and beaches itself, marine biologists call it cetacean stranding. More often than not, stranding doesn't end well. In most cases, the beached whales die of dehydration or drown when the high tide covers their blowholes. Or maybe it's something else in case of Death Stranding. But given the fact the first trailer opens on a beach full of dead wildlife, including dead whales, the title cannot be just a coincidence. But what we do know for sure is that Death Stranding has a killer cast. 2 of the cast members are former contributors of the now-cancelled Silent Hills. The protagonist will be Norman Reedus of The Walking Dead. In the second trailer, we saw famous director Guillermo del Toro, whose character is still to be revealed, and in that same trailer, we were introduced to the antagonist, played by Mads Mikkelsen. Besides these stars, a tweet from Kojima Productions hinted at a possible female lead too. In the most recent news revolving Death Stranding, actress Emily O'Brien posted this image on her Instagram, revealing her to be the possible female lead. We also see that Troy Baker, who has worked with Kojima-san on Phantom Pain, has joined the already studded cast. Now, we don't even know the concept of the game, but in a podcast, Norman Reedus talked about Death Stranding. Specifically, he mentioned how the game's concept is ahead of its time and the opposite of what video games are about. Because according to him, today's video games are all about killing everybody and winning it. But Death Stranding is so ahead of its time, and there are elements of social media in it, and the idea is that you have so many games that include so many parts of millennial culture, especially being alone in a room and losing physical contact with people. Death Stranding is after that, and it tries to reestablish that physical contact. Kojima-san also talked a little about Death Stranding's concept and has cited Japanese author Kabo Abe's novella Rope as a major influence. In Rain, Abe said the first tools mankind learned to use were sticks and ropes. Sticks could be used to keep threats at a distance, while ropes could secure the things people cherish. This concept seems to be a huge influence on Death Stranding. Kojima-san said that most games arm players with sticks, allowing them to fight enemies and other players, but that he wants his new game to revolve around the ropes that bring players together. He added that the game will still arm players with sticks, suggesting there will still be violent conflict. In these abstract terms, players will have to consider when to use a stick to push people away and when to use a rope to connect them. As for the plot, Mads Mikkelsen says the Death Stranding plot is so elaborate he found himself lost, but intrigued to find out more. Speaking at Saudi Comic-Con, Mikkelsen spoke about meeting Kojima, who attempted to explain his new project's storyline and said that he was trying to tell him the full plot of the game, but it's so elaborate that he got lost, but he really wanted to learn more. As crazy as it sounds, it is so Kojima. There aren't any details available on the gameplay of Death Stranding, but in an interview with the official PlayStation blog, Kojima-san shed some light on Death Stranding's moment-to-moment gameplay. He confirmed rumors that it would be an open-world game with a lot of freedom of choice for players. He mentioned how the gameplay will suit every and any kind of player. If you're into cars, then you can get in vehicles and so on. If you're a fighter, there's plenty of opportunity for that. If you're not that type of player, there are other ways to play this game. In 2016, Kojima Production clarified that while the game will allow for co-op play, the game will be playable solo and you can complete it entirely without help if you wish. While talking to Digital Spy, Kojima-san expressed his thoughts on what genre will Death Stranding be. He said that it will be an action game if you really want to put a genre in it. Then he proceeded to mention Metal Gear and said that it was an action game, but it was different because the main thing was about hiding, so people eventually ended up calling that stealth action. In this game, the player will be controlling Norman, but by playing it, they will find something different, something that won't fit in established terms. On the same day, Kojima Productions released this statement by Kojima-san with a tweet saying that Death Stranding should be a new genre on its own. Another huge mystery. But a few things regarding the gameplay features were revealed. While talking at E3 2017, Kojima-san explained two important features. One of them is being reborn at death. Another tweet also revealed this concept, and Kojima-san said that death is about to have a new meaning. While talking to IGN, Kojima-san explained that one of the themes of this game is life and death. So I want people to realize that when they die in the game, that isn't the end. As seen from the third trailer, when you die in Death Stranding, you're transported to this purgatory, where you're free to explore in first person. Because of some mysterious, unique abilities that Sam, aka Norman Reedus, possesses, you can wander outside of your body, recovering items among other things. As Kojima said that this scene is a playable game feature and explained that in that instance, the player is not dead or alive. It's like a game over screen that asks whether you want to continue or not. As for the second feature, it was also revealed in the third trailer. The rain that made the plants die and men age, it's called Timefall and is rain from another part of the world. According to Kojima-san, most people are aware of the rain except Sam, Reedus' character, who seems to be quite unique in this regard. Hideo Kojima may be at the helm of his studio, but he's not the only Metal Gear alum working on Death Stranding. Longtime art director and collaborator Yoji Shinkawa, the man responsible for designing Metal Gear's iconic characters and mechs, has jumped the Konami ship to join Kojima, as has Metal Gear producer Kenichiro Imaizumi. Novelist and Metal Gear expert Kenji Yano, who was largely responsible for the planning of the MGS series novelization, has also joined the staff. In an interview with the PlayStation blog, Kojima-san said that his team is making Death Stranding using a modified version of the Decima engine, which Guerrilla Games used to make Horizon Zero Dawn. During a presentation at SIGGRAPH in early August 2017, Kojima Productions showed off a technical first look at the engine, which you're looking at now. The brief teaser used the location shown in the PSX demo to demonstrate the height fog model and atmospheric scattering system. If you focus your attention on the sky, you can see the sky seamlessly transition from blue and sunny to an ominous gray before fog engulfs the scene. The broken down structure showcases the incredible detail in the ruins made possible by Decima. Guerrilla Games even stuffed a bunch of Death Stranding references into their game. In Horizon Zero Dawn, players can find a stranded necklace, a stranded figure, and stranded shackles. As far as anyone can tell, those refer to Norman Reedus' dog tags, which appear in Death Stranding's first trailer. The creepy doll that floats by Guillermo del Toro in trailer number 2, and the handcuffs that Reedus' character seems to wear respectively. So once players collect all 3 stranded items, they can hand them over to a quest giver in exchange for a box that contains a pair of warm socks. The socks don't even sell for very much money, and it's not clear if they're an Easter egg or a throwaway item. Until Death Stranding comes out, the confusion will most likely continue. The official Death Stranding announcement featured only a cinematic of nude Norman Reedus on a beach surrounded by dead sea creatures and attached to a crying baby via mechanical umbilical cord. It was set to the song "I'll Keep Coming" from Icelandic band Low Roar.
Heard you call my name.
Not only this trailer, but the one that played during the Game Awards was instrumental. Kojima revealed a version including the song "Easy Way Out" by Low Roar during his PSX 2016 panel, claiming if you pay attention to the lyrics while watching, the trailer will look completely different. As for the official release date for Death Stranding, there is no confirmation, but Kojima Productions did tweet about it and gave us a hopeful window somewhere before 2019, because Tokyo Olympics will take place in 2020, and as for the live action of the manga and anime, it has been in development for so long that it may never happen, giving Kojima Productions a pretty easy release date to hit. But maybe there's more to it. For one, Akira takes place in 2019, which could be a possible launch date. Death Stranding development is progressing rapidly, and according to Sony Interactive Entertainment, they've never seen a title being created at such a fast pace. That's what Hideo Kojima said in the latest issue of Japanese gaming magazine. Development on the upcoming PlayStation exclusive is going very well, and because of this, Sony appears to be planning a surprise announcement later this year. Hideo Kojima recently took to his official Instagram account and he posted an image of a DualShock 4 controller and tagged it with hashtags such as #GameDesign and #DeathStranding. While none of that doesn't really mean much by itself, it does seem to give the impression that Kojima-san and his team might be playtesting the game, or at least parts of it. Kojima-san is playing with action figures again, and we all know what that means. He does this quite often, as one of the times he was playing with action figures turned out to be an enactment of the game's third trailer. He's now posted images on Twitter. This time it's Star Wars action figures, mostly anyway, such as a Stormtrooper and Captain Phasma. Does that mean we're getting a possible new trailer at E3 2018? Can't wait to find out. That's all we know on Death Stranding so far. If you're excited for this new Kojima marvel as we are, then hit that like button. For more information on Death Stranding, subscribe to Segment Next and visit segmentnext.com. Until next time.